What insult have your parents said that is stuck in your head as an adult? Half man, half mattress, my old man when I wouldn't get out of bed. Edit, for those asking, he was being amazing and funny. 1990. I was 16 and had to get up at 4:30 for work. He got me up and out the door every morning. A nice wee story? You can't even laugh right. My mom, in a weird moment I thought we were bonding. There's something inherently extra evil when someone tells you your joy is wrong. Damn, that's awful. Not a parent but a grandparent. I was adopted when I was 12 years old. My parents were both drug addicts, so I was in and out of foster care most of my life. My adopted mother's father turned to me on Christmas Eve when no one else was around and said, "My daughter should have never adopted you. She should have let you stay on the streets where you belong." He got nicer as he got older and sicker, but I couldn't find it in myself to forget what he said even almost 10 years later. Went to the funeral for moral support, but was indifferent about his passing. How horrible. I'm so sorry. Did you ever tell your parents? Yeah, I did. I was told they spoke to him in private, but that just made things even more awkward because then I was a snitch piece of shit too. What did I do to deserve a fat kid? Extra ridiculous considering that even if you were fat, you were a kid. Who controls what kids eat? Their parents. Got to love parents blaming their kids for things they created. My little brother was drowning. I tried to save him but also almost drowned. We got rescued by a neighbor. My mom told me that they should have left me in the pond. I haven't spoken to her in many years. Like a half a century ago, my mother and I were talking and the topic of someone's eye color came up. I forget who. I sincerely asked, "What color are my eyes?" "They are sort of a gray-green." She looked at them closely and told me, "Sort of a shit brindle." I still bring that up from time to time. Mom was talking to Dad about me while I was right there. I was bullied in high school and it had an effect on my grades. While discussing my education, she said, "Look at him. Can't you see there's nothing in there? Just look at how he sits there. He can't do this. He's not capable of more. This is it. He's nothing." It gave me a drive and motivation. It also gave me a constant need to prove myself. For the people wondering, this happened almost 20 years ago and I have now found peace with what she said. My mom has a lot of mental issues, but she tries her best. She's made a lot of progress and is still working on battling her inner demons. And in the end, she has since done a lot more good than bad to me. I will never forget what she said, but I no longer hold it against her. People shouldn't always be reduced to their worst moment. It's so hard for me to even imagine saying something like that to my child. But good on you got using those shit words to better yourself. "You're so annoying," said to me as a young kid while I was expressing enthusiasm over some new interest. Later my father complains I never tell him anything. After I had rambled on a new, exciting interest, my dad pulled me over to stand in front of him. "Here is a quarter. I want you to walk on down to the Snappy Mart. When you get there, put the quarter in the phone. Then call someone who cares." He gave me the quarter and I broke down, because 10-year-old me didn't have anyone to call. I'm still convinced my being interested in anything makes it worse. I can still hear his cold, sarcastic voice in my head. "I sometimes wish your seizure killed you when you were 2 years old." Dad, when I was about 10. "If I kill you, I can make another one just like you and no one will notice." My mom said this once, but replace "kill you" with "give you away." It's different when you're a twin. My parents divorced when I was young and they hate each other. My mom would call me my dad's name when she was really upset. What makes it worse is that I confided in her that I never wanted to be like my dad. She used that ammunition against me. That's awful. You are your own person. You aren't your father. In 7th grade, I was learning how to write better poetry thanks to an awesome teacher. I was so proud of a collection I made, so I let my mom read it. She asked me, "Do you need to be put in a mental asylum?" I was so upset, and as I was growing up, I didn't share any of my art with people, regardless of the medium. Even now, I still hear how serious she was when she asked me that. "How was school today?" "Fine. What did you learn?" "Nothing." I gray-rocked my parents for 10 years because I did not want to hear their opinions about things they didn't understand. The only reason I had kids is to serve me. I only wanted one boy and one girl. Bitch had 3 boys. Parents who view their children as nothing more than property are the worst kind of parents. She told me I was acting just like my father when I would get upset. I would just get kinda pissy and sulk. He would go on rampages and scream and hit and throw things. He pushed her down the stairs once. I would never lay a finger on my current partner. The worst part is I look just like him. I was wondering if my mother always expected me to turn into my dad. I prove her wrong every day. My father said to my mother when she finally left him, "The only one of the 3 kids that has done any good is the middle one. I'm surprised that the other 2 aren't in jail." I guess the next question is, which one are you? Clearly not the middle child. I was an only child and lonely. When I asked for a sibling, the response was, "If you want to know why we don't have more kids, go look in the mirror." Wholesome twist. You were so perfect that your parents realized they didn't need anything more in life than you. That's funny because after hearing it repeatedly, that's exactly what I threw back. It just took until I was a teenager to turn it around. You're too goofy. Guys don't want to date a girl who's funnier than they are. Not exactly an insult, I guess, but it did stick with me. That counts. I'm sorry it happened. Hope you are still goofy as much as you love. Thanks. I'm still goofy, and much to my parents' surprise, I managed to find the rare breed of man who likes my goofiness and can make me laugh. I actually met my boyfriend, soon to be fiancé, when I was hanging out with his roommate at their place. I made a joke in the living room, and he cracked up from his bedroom. I don't know if I'd say I'm funnier than him, but I'm definitely funnier with him. When I was 10 years old, my mom once said, "If I could go back in time and make sure I never gave birth to you, I would in a heartbeat." Never forgot it. Talked to her about it a couple of times years later, and her responses ranged from, "That never happened," to, "Oh yeah, and I suppose I'm just the worst mother ever," and finally, "Yeah, but I didn't mean it, you know that." Messed me up though, to be honest. Another one was, "Older sibling, was the only child we actually planned for, the rest of you were accidents." I don't think it was intended as an insult, but being told your entire existence was an accident as a child kinda stung. Not me, but a friend after her dad had died. She told her mom that she missed her daddy. I say daddy because she was roughly 8 at the time. Her mother replied, "You miss him so much? If you ever say that to me again, I swear I'll chain you to his gravestone." I'm speechless. It wouldn't have ever occurred to me that someone would say that before I read this. It was horrible. My mom looked into getting her on child abuse charges, but it didn't pan out. They chalked it up to the mother being upset, but man, it was fucked up. Fortunately, it was an isolated incident. "You sound like a pig under a gate." I was 10 and working to expand my vocal range. To this day, I stop singing when others are around. "You will never amount to anything in life." Oh yeah, I got this one when I was about 17. It was, "You're the only significant thing I've done with my life and you're making a mess of yours." In retrospect, the irony is stunning, but at the time I was devastated. My father is very good at maths, especially at doing it in his head. I always was self-conscious about that. One hike in the mountains, he gave me a math problem and I went totally blank, tried to frantically solve it in my head but couldn't. Finally he said, "You once were intelligent, that's long gone," starting a monologue about how dumb I am. I was 13 at the time. In my N30s we had a chat about chemistry, which I excelled in at school. That led to other subjects, and it turned out he wasn't really good in any subject we shared except math. I was in most except math. I seriously don't understand this obsession some parents have to feel superior over their children. I mean, don't you want your kids to better than you? That what would I wanted? There are so many things I really don't remember most of them. Once my stepmom called me a lying, sneaking little shit because she thought I stole her melatonin, when she just used it all and forgot about it. But the thing that I think about a lot is my dad once when I was like 10 to 12. I don't remember what it was about. I just remember him poking me in the chest with enough force to knock me down. He said, "You're such a piece of shit, I can't wait until I get to kick you out," and spat in my face as I was laying on the ground. That was the man who was supposed to be Superman to me. I was supposed to sit on his shoulders to see a parade or something. Hope you've become your own Superman. That kid on the ground still needs looking after, and as an adult you can do that for him. Hope you've found self-love. That my sister and myself will. Never be more than a hole for a man to fuck. We both shrugged this off as kids, but as adults we both realize how fucked up that is to put on your daughter's view towards relationships with men. Needless to say, we both struggled with setting boundaries in relationships. It took a lot of inner reflection on our parts, my sister and myself, to build self-esteem and learn boundaries with men. Thanks, Mom. This could be the worst one on here. You're the reason your dad died. He died of leukemia. That one always stuck in my head and has done for almost 20 years. I hate all my kids. I wish I could line them all up and shoot them. My mother to me when I was about 15 because I forgot something at home, and we were gonna be late to a church meeting. Very Christ-like of her. I hope your mother is doing horribly, and I hope you're doing better. My sister won a ton of toddler and baby beauty pageants. My dad for a while didn't believe I was his daughter. He told me I wasn't pretty enough to be his daughter. Well, joke's on you, Dad, we look just alike. Killed my self-esteem, but I think it's kinda funny now. What insult have your parents said that is stuck in your head as an adult? Leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.